Hi there, and welcome back to another BobBlast. I'm Bob Burridge, and this is another one of my Loosen Up with Aquamedia Painting assignments. This is day 2. Remember, day 1, what we did was the pear, right? And now day 2, we do simple subjects every day, a simple subjects. I like to call it 4 years of art school, all done in 5 days. You're gonna learn a little bit of everything. We cover everything. But today's assignment is I'm gonna show you how to take a mess, one of my favorite things to do. Let's make a mess and then let it dry a little bit, and we're gonna do some negative shape painting. My other favorite one is this technique, where I put black paint over the whole canvas or the paper and start wiping it away. Negative shape painting again. I'm gonna show you those 2 techniques. I like to do it, it works for me. So before I make a mess, I'm going to make sure I protect myself a little bit with putting some hand salve, like the Burt's Bees hand salve, all over my hands, right? I used to wear those gloves, but I put holes in those gloves. So this protects my hands a little bit, and it's also a lot easier for me to clean my hands at the end of the day. So now, in lieu of gloves, this is what I put on my hands, hand salve. I do have the color wheel. I am going to be using my color wheel. The dominant color will be green, all right? The focal point color will be this hot pink, and then the 2 spice colors will be this blue and this orange. I had them already out, ready to go. I have some of the other colors out there too. I just didn't want them to be so lonely. So the very first thing I'm going to do is wet a paper towel and get the dominant color down all over the whole place. Notice I put it on top of a warm tone background. Let some of that peek through. Nice and wet right now, really wet, all over the whole place. Some more colors in here. Really make it, notice I'm dabbing it. Don't want to swirl it around. It'll turn into mud. This is also fun to do with some rubbing alcohol, isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Throw some of it on top. Look at that. You get these incredible little bubbles and swirls. Great stuff, right? The whole idea here is to make a mess. I'm using lots of color. This is the Holbein paint. It has a lot of pigment in it. There we go. There's my mess. I'm going to add some more colors since we're making a mess. May as well make a mess. Still using the colors that were initially figured out in my color wheel. There we go. Add some black in here even. But notice what I'm doing. Just little dabs. Don't swirl it around. Give it a couple more shots of rubbing alcohol. Why not? Still wet. This only works if it's really wet and juicy. Okay, make sure it's wet and juicy. It doesn't work on dry paint. There. It starts to paint itself after a while. I'll let it sit here and settle down while it's painting itself. We'll let it dry, and I'll come right back and start doing some negative shape painting. So this is the piece I just got finished doing, and I just now scraped in some lines with my fingernails that indicates somewhere where I want the vase to be. And the rest will be flowers. Remember, this is all about taking a mess, we made our own mess, and then doing some negative shape painting. In other words, get rid of the part that doesn't look like a vase. Here we go. I'm gonna get started right into it. Big wide brush. Get the big shapes down first. Lots of white on my brush. Since its dominant is green, I'm gonna make sure that even that the background's gonna be somewhat green. All right, so there's the vase, something like this. Something like this, there we go. Indicating a table. See, it starts to paint itself after a while, if you just get out of the way, right? Here we go. I'm even painting this upside down. I actually can see it better if it's upside down. Big shapes, big wide, wow, pretty dramatic. I have to make sure that this vase can hold all these flowers. So you're gonna have to get rid of some of them. Here we go. The balance is a little bit better. There we go. Now the vase down in here. All right. Using my fingers. There we go. Now at this point, I need to find the focal point color. Well, so it's dominant is green. Look at all the different greens I have here. Let me get over here. There we go. The dominant color is green. So it's mostly green. Focal point is that hot pink color. Here we go, that hot pink color. I'm adding lots of white to it, so it becomes more opaque. Hot pink. Whoa, what a color. And I'm gonna put it right where I would think there we go. The golden section might be. Yeah, somewhere in there. Especially when you think of the golden section. The tic-tac-toe, there you go. Cool, somewhere in there. That's the focal point. I'm gonna add some of that color other places too. Keeping it loose. No details. No details. I'm gonna lighten up this table just a little bit. Keeping it dominant. Green. There we go. Yeah, it looks like there's a shadow underneath there. There we go. I'm gonna give this a little highlight up in this area. A little bling bling. Ching, something like that. And softening the background. There we go. It's a loose way, a very loose way of painting a vase of flowers. Basically, it's taking a mess and then getting rid of the part that doesn't look like a mess. Look, I'm still splashing. Yeah, that's some fun. And it starts to paint itself. A very abstract way, a very loose way. It's one of the ways. Let me show you the other way I love to paint. And here's another technique. I just think it's a whole lot of fun because you never know how it's going to turn out. Basically, I put a lot of dark color, in this case black, over the whole paint, and while it's still wet, I start wiping it away, getting rid of the part that does look like flowers on this one. Okay, let's get started. Here we go. So I have my watercolor paper, 300-pound watercolor paper. I already have it gessoed. I have to put a mark on the back side because I never know which side's been gessoed. So I put a mark on the back, duh. So I know this side's been gessoed. Here we go. Let's start off with lots of black. This happens to be black acrylic, Mars black. This is the whole bind paint. And I'm putting it over the entire piece. Even more. That's really putting a whole lot out there. Here we go. It has so much pigment in it, and that's what I like about it. I work fast here. Now remember, we're gonna try and get rid of the part. It does look like flowers, so here we go. I can also put some alcohol at this point too. Look at that. It starts to paint these little flowers. Cool, huh? All right. Let's get back into wiping some more. Here we go. Wiping away. There we go. Composition. Kind of a cruciform, right? Now we can actually come in with some white paint. Whoa. Fun way of painting flowers. I have no idea what kind of flowers they are. And that's not really what I want to show. I want to show people how exciting it is to be a painter. Notice I'm working all over the whole place. Don't stay in one area too long. This paint is very wet. Woo-hoo. Here's where I get into drawing. It's crazy, huh? Now you know why I put that Burt's Bees salve on my hands. A little texture, here we go. all the way down to the original color of the gesso. There we go. And that's another technique I love to do. Try them. It's a fun way to get started in the morning or any time during the day. Thanks again for watching. And remember, this is just one of the many workshops that I do, my Loosen Up workshops. Can't wait to show you the next one. Stay tuned.